Hi and welcome to this review. My name is Michael, aka Gene Orwin, and today I'm going to review the Logitech Gaming Keyboard G510 right for you. You can already read the name of the product here in the bottom left corner. This is the packaging of the actual keyboard, and this is also where I'm going to start with my review. As you can already see, I have the keyboard placed right on my desk over here already. However, before I go to the actual practical things with the keyboard, before I start with how the keyboard is doing in praxis, I would first of all want to go through the actual features of this keyboard. As you know, the keyboard is a little bit expensive. I paid 80 euros for it at the moment. And as you can already see from the packaging, it has got some special functions. I'm going to start off with the most evident function in the beginning here, which is the illuminated keyboard. You can see over here we've got a green setting or a green illuminated background. And over here on this keyboard I have over here, I hope you can see it, I'm not sure exactly. Actually, we can make it maybe a little more visual. However, I have a red illumination or a blue illumination or a yellow-like illumination over here. And this is already one of the functions the keyboard offers, as you can also see here on this picture on the packaging. You can basically set the background color just as you want. You've got three various presets over here, and you can just switch through all the background colors fluently here, as you can see. I've got three presets, and I can just change the color as I want. Okay, so this is one of the features of the gaming keyboard. However, I'm not going to pay 80 euros only for a background illuminated keyboard. I can also get a few much cheaper ones with the same feature. But as this is a gaming keyboard, we also have some additional keys, and these additional keys, as you can see over here, or actually here on the real product, they basically, you can basically use them to, for example, start any program you want, or you can, type in a text and just copy and paste the text by using one of those various keys. They are also background illuminated like pretty much any other key on this keyboard. And you've also got these little keys over here. These little keys on the top over here are basically used to swap through the presets. You've got 18 keys, one in all here. However, you can have three different presets. So if I use G18 here, I can, for example, set on M1, I can set a desktop preset or a office preset, and I can, for example, have the calculator on it. Then I have M2 as my gaming preset, and then I have M3 as my multimedia preset. And in the gaming preset, it is maybe to spawn a new vehicle in some strategy game or whatsoever. And in the media preset, it is just, for example, open a certain homepage such as YouTube where I can watch videos on. So much about the G keys. As I said, I'm going to come back to the actual practical things later again. Then let us keep going here. On the back of the keyboard over here, you can already see two plugs with two markings on it, and guess what? Here's a headset and over here is a microphone. And that is what these plugs are made for. This keyboard has an integrated sound card, and with the integrated sound card you can just plug the USB or the USB plug of the keyboard in, and you have the USB sound right away. Actually, no, you don't have it right away. You need to install the drivers for it. I'm sorry about that. But after installing the drivers, you can just use this sound card instead of your internal one. That is pretty helpful, for example, if you have some buggy onboard sound card, as I have on my PC, that just doesn't want to work as you want it to. So you can instead just use this keyboard. You don't need to buy an additional sound card. And yeah, of course, what you have to say is that the quality of the sound card, it's not too bad, but the sound card sometimes has some problems. But as I said, to the practical things, I'm going to come back later to them. Now, for the sound card itself, we've got two plugs over here. And by pressing these, let me just search for some plug I can plug in over here, for example. Okay, the keyboard is just restarting. Just a second. This always happens if you plug in a new plug. As you can see, I can put a little red dot on and off over here. This is basically for the sound card. If you don't want to have anything over your boxes anymore, you don't need to actually press this huge sound off button. You can just go here, switch the internal sound card of the keyboard off, and then it's off. Or for example, if you sit in TeamSpeak or whatsoever and you just don't want to talk anymore, just go for that one, for that key, and yeah, then you basically can't talk anymore. That is pretty useful, especially I think the red LED over here is very, very useful. I hope you can see it. Otherwise, let me just zoom in a little. Now you should see it much better. The red LED over here is very, very useful just because you basically sit there and you talk and you have no idea why others aren't hearing you. Then you can just look at your keyboard. Oh, wait, my microphone is turned off. Let me turn it on again, and then I can start talking again. Let me zoom out again. Now, also one of the most evident functions of this keyboard is, of course, over here the display. The display has various options. You can basically have small and little programs running on the keyboard, actually on your PC, and the PC transmitting data to the keyboard, to the display. And you can switch through various things or various programs here. For example, a countdown, a LCD clock, or what is pretty interesting also is the performance monitor. You can see my RAM is 38% full. Actually, you can't see. My RAM is 38% full, and my processor is on 5%, or is currently running with 5% of its actual power. Down here, these keys, they can be used to control the little keyboard. Now, let me see. Over here we have the little Xfire program, and using this program I can basically, if somebody would have chatted me, then I could just go through things here. Or if somebody would have chatted me at the moment, I could just browse through things. Now at the moment nobody chats with me, but let me see what else I have over here. Okay, here you can see this is basically a program that allows you to switch through your various profiles for the G keys, and you can, for example, unlock and lock the profiles. You can, if I had any more profiles over here, I could just go up and down through them. And as I said, with this key you can just switch through the various programs you have. Okay, now over here there's also a little button. This is basically the illumination key, so if there's a real bright day and you just don't want the illumination, just press on here and it's off. Same goes if it's night or whatsoever, so you can just go on and off here. I can also switch to the red color here and just go off, and you see it's black and white again. Then a little more to the right here, you have your media keys. These also require installed browser, at least they did with me. And they are just basic media functions you have with many keyboards nowadays. Over here you have the overall sound on and off button, but don't ask me why they put twice the buttons in here. I guess this one over here is just really only for the internal sound card. So if you use various sound cards, if you have, what do I know, maybe a home cinema, you just have an additional key. Now this key over here is used to control your sound. We can pretty much see this by, let me just have a look, let me zoom out again for a second. Now they go up and down here. I can control the volume of my windows, sounds of my windows. Yeah, and that is basically the idea behind this key over here. Just scroll down, the volume goes down, scroll up, the volume goes up again. Okay, now one last thing I actually forgot about this keyboard is this little handy, not very shiny, but interesting key. I'm zooming in right now. Let me just correct the camera position here. No. Okay, better. This is the so-called gaming mode key. Some of you might have experienced the problem. You are just in a game or whatsoever. Okay, now I hope the auto zoom works. You're just in a game or whatsoever, and you're playing with friends, and suddenly you press the Windows key or the Alt Tab key, and you're just out of the game, and right in that moment a other player kills you. That is just damn annoying. By switching this button over here, you can deactivate the Windows key. that is, as I said, pretty useful, especially in ego shooters and such as games. And yeah, I pretty much like the function. However, I have to say I haven't used it too often yet. But yeah, okay, so much about the general overview of the keyboard. Let me zoom out again. Now to the actual praxis facts, or to this keyboard in praxis. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Now, first of all, to the actual functions of a keyboard is, of course, the typing. I'm pretty much a more or less professional typing guy. I have about 600 hits per minute on a keyboard, which is pretty much. And from this point, I have to say the keyboard isn't bad for typing, but there are better models. So if you want to do Office only, this is definitely not the keyboard you want. There are much better keyboards in my opinion. The ones that are more notebook keyboard-like are much better for typing, but the keyboard itself works out. Now, if you have a look at the box of this keyboard, then you're going to notice that Logitech promotes it with that you can press various keys at the same time, and the keyboard is going to transmit them all, and the keyboard is superb and extra special for gaming. Well, in fact, that is one of the most contrapoints, I have to say, of this keyboard. If I'm playing some ego shooters or other games, if I'm pressing W here just to run forward, I sometimes have the problem that suddenly I just stop walking. So the keyboard below it doesn't have contact to the actual keyboard. So the keyboard is not connected with the key, sorry, that way around. And that is the most contrapoint. It doesn't annoy me, as it happens very rarely, but it happens, and that is not very good. Same also goes if I'm currently running, maybe pressing shift together and then doing something with some other keys, for example when I'm jet flying in BF3. Then it also happened to me already that the keyboard just didn't go for the key I pressed. I had to release another key and then press the key again. That is annoying, that should not be. Now to the G keys, as I said, over here on the keyboard, we can go through various presets over here. These are software programmable. In order to use these, you need to install the drivers that are coming with the keyboard from Logitech. That is basically, or that is also the same for the sound, or for the USB sound coming with the keyboard. The display and the media keys, I think, is the same with media keys. In order to program these keys, we can just go over into the so-called G profiler from Logitech. Let me just go for the camera, as you can see on my screen over here. Let me just zoom in a little. I hope you can see this, but it should work out very well. And okay, and you've got various keys on here. Now I can switch through the various presets, and over here you can see if I press G1, I've got F1, so I just press G1, and over here we have got the help of Logitech coming up. This is the help screen. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit again. We've got the help screen coming up, or for myself, I have linked the calculator, as all Germans of you can read on the bottom left here. I have basically added the calculator to the keyboard, as that was one of the functions I was really missing. And if I press G6 in here, you can see thousands of calculator windows open if I press the key a few times. And that is pretty nice, because you can open any program you want. You can have you can even actually have a row of keys being typed at the same time. For example, I have programmed with G14 over here. I have programmed G14 over here to write ASDF, ASDF, ASDF instantly. Now let me just press the button a few times more and you can see, well, I can just go for that. Also, if you're currently in a game and you want to program a key right away, that is a very nice function. There's something that is called instant macro. Just go for this key, press it, and then it says over here, press a G key you want to place a certain macro on. Then I'm going to go for a G9, and then it says enter any keys you want. So I'm just going to write good morning everybody over here. Okay, good. I just typed this in. Now I'm press MR again. As you can see, it's flashing. And now right here I can go to the display again. Just a second. I can go to the display again, and I can just press the key and it writes good morning everybody over here. That is nice. It also works with other things, so for example in games. And yeah. Then to the gaming mode, I really haven't experienced any contrast of it. What is nice, if the gaming mode is off, then the key isn't illuminated, so you always see when you're in gaming mode or not. And then to the USB sound card, as I already said previously, it doesn't have the best audio quality, even though I don't have the best ears either way, so I can't really rate on that. However, what I have noticed is that, for example, in Battlefield 3, the sound card is sometimes a little slow, meaning that, for example, within 1 or 2 hours of gaming, I sometimes have 10 seconds or so where I just don't hear certain sounds. For example, when I fly jet, the jet sound. Really not much of a huge deal for me, but some of you might be interested in this feature as well, and yeah. Then, to the display, as I said, it pretty much works fine. There are quite a few programs for this keyboard for various games. Just, you can check on the wiki page of the keyboard whether the game you want to play is, well, has a program supporting this. For example, some programs by default, if I open TeamSpeak, let me just open it. If I open TeamSpeak, then I can right away select a TeamSpeak 3. Can select a TeamSpeak 3 thing over here, and then I can just click on sound, mute my microphone whatsoever, so I can just do it from the keyboard, and I don't need to do anything else. For example, if I'm in a game or something, I can just mute the microphone for whatsoever reason. Yeah, then to the keys over here. What I've noticed is the sound on/off volume key over here. It doesn't work. Well, it works good, okay, but it sounds a little bit cheap. That might have been done better. The sound on/off key over here, a little huge actually compared to all the other keys. I don't know why you need it, but it works. And over here, these keys, they also work. But especially at the beginning, they're a little hard, and you really need to press them down in order to have them work. But yeah, they still work, so I'm not going to complain about that. Okay, then what I actually missed with this keyboard, what comes with a few other keyboards from other producers, is a USB hub. If this keyboard would have a USB hub, then I would be just so happy with it. But I still need an external USB hub, so okay. But a USB hub is just great because you don't need to go down to your PC, plug in USB sticks, you just put them over here and you have them. That would have been really nice, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with this keyboard. As I said, it's not the best for typing. It works out flawless without problems though, so nothing to complain here. The contra points are basically a little bit the sound card over here. And then the keys doing like, what do I know, maybe in a chance of 1 of 10,000 or so not work, so it's not much of a big deal. And otherwise, really, there's not much problems with the keyboard overall. As I said, you can set your own colors with the display, and yeah. Okay, so far let me quickly think maybe there was something else with the keyboard, but I do not think so. And I now thank you for watching at this point. I would be really pleased if you could subscribe to my channel, if you would like this video, if you would maybe even share this video on Facebook or whatsoever. So at this point, thank you for watching. For your information, you can buy this keyboard on Amazon. I think I'm going to put a link somewhere in the description about purchasing it on Amazon. I've also got a few other reviews on my channel, for example, of the Lenovo IdeaPad A1, which is a pretty cheaply priced tablet, so maybe interesting for the one or other of you. And yeah, this was pretty much the review. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and see ya.